everyone, it's Mary Ellen, and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all things related to the storytelling industry. If you don't already know me, I write nonfiction under my real name, Mary Ellen Quigley, and romance under my pen name, M.E. Laverne, and my dog is going to bark in the background. What are we barking at, buddy? Every time I go to record. Okay, today's video, where it's going to be just me sitting, it's going to be a talking head today. I am using my fancy schmancy microphone here. Hopefully I didn't just bust out your eardrum with that. I didn't love the audio quality of my last couple of videos. As you guys know, I got this new phone and the camera is like a gazillion times better, but I thought the audio was a little like echoey. So I was like, let me try my fancy schmancy microphone and see if that's a little bit better. So you'll have to let me know if you think it's worse. You can let me know that too, but we will see. Let's talk about how I'm wrapping up 2024 and what I am doing to prepare for 2025. As I said, I'm going to be a talking head today. That's okay. So first of all, can you believe we are already in December? I am shocked at how quick this year went by. And if I'm being 100% honest, I'm kind of have mixed feelings. Like, I'm proud of everything I've accomplished at the end of this year. I had a very crazy last half of the year, but I'm also equally disappointed because I feel like I didn't get as much done as I wanted to. As you guys know, the first half of the year, I was dealing with super bad depression and anxiety, like crippling depression and anxiety. And then the last half of the year got really chaotic. I started really in summer with my previous job, and the previous job was just like insanity, as you guys know. So which is why I looked for another job. And then starting the new job has actually been fabulous. But you know how it is when you start a new job, you're trying to figure out, like, get your footing and figure out how things work. I am just now starting to feel like I'm in a routine here, but there's still those things that you're like, wait a minute, what am I supposed to do with that? So yeah, I mean, I've been here for a couple months now. I love it, but it's been a little bit of a chaotic last half of the year. I had 2 book releases in the last half of the year. So it's been a lot, but I'm happy to wrap up the year, and I would like to have a good plan for 2025 to get started. A couple of the things that I'm doing to kind of wrap up this year, first and foremost, as far as writing goes, I don't really have any major things that are due by the end of the year. As you guys know, I am doing my whole 5-year plan of trying to become a full-time author, or at least make enough of an income to step down to a lower demand job. So, there's a whole video. I think you can link videos. If you can, I will link that up here so you can go watch it. So you're like, what are you talking about, 5-year plan? Yeah, I have a 5-year plan. So as you guys know, I'm working on social media. I hate to admit this, but I've already kind of dropped the ball because Thanksgiving. And I have not posted much the first week of December. So I need to, this weekend, work on getting the rest of December planned so that I don't completely miss the rest of December. I was supposed to post every single day for November and December. I did it for November. December's already off to a bad start, but so that, focusing on the whole social media thing for the rest of the year. And then the only other thing I want to work on, as you guys know from a few, well, maybe you're new, but if you were here a few videos back, or several videos back, a couple months ago, I was talking about how I really wanted to get my mom's book, Lessons My Mother Taught Me. I'll put a cover. Mommy's book, I wanted to get redone by the end of the year. I do not think that's going to happen. There just isn't enough time to complete it. It's December 5th. There's no way I'm going to get this completely rewritten and figured out by the end of the year, I don't think. So, but I would like to get started on it with the goal of trying to get it out pretty quickly in 2025. So I'll probably going to do a vlog about this. So maybe the next vlog or the vlog after will go into more detail. Starting probably maybe this weekend, or maybe tonight. We'll see what it looks like. I would like to get going on trying to figure it out. So step 1 for me is going to be figuring out what are the lessons, and then going through my original manuscript to determine if I can use any of the previous manuscript or if I need to just start from scratch. So that's really all I'm doing to finish 24. For 25, what I'm doing to prepare for 25. Couple things I'm doing right off of the bat. One is financial and one is for writing, okay? First one is financial, and that is, as you guys know, part of my 5-year plan is that my main goal is to become a full-time writer. If that's not possible, then I want to become a part-time writer, essentially, so that I have either a job that's less demanding and less pay, or a part-time job with my part-time, whatever that looks like. Again, you can go back and watch the video. But in order to do that, I have to figure out how to live on a smaller salary, because I can't have expenses be as high as they are now and then cut my salary in half. That's not possible. So one of the things I really want to focus on is getting my finances under control. And I have the job now that pays a little bit more money than my last job. And so one of my main goals is to learn how to stay within my original salary and the extra that I'm getting from the raise at this job, to figure out how to put that in savings. That's hard to do in today's economy. As we all know, the cost of everything has gone up. But a lot of it, to be flat honest with you guys, is a self-control issue. That's my biggest issue that gets me every year. Is like the car breaks down and then I'm panicking because I'm like, oh my God, how am I going to pay for the car? Well, maybe you could pay for the car if you're putting something in your savings account. So I'm really trying hard to get control of my spending this year. And I have to do it. Like, I have to learn how to live within my means and not be stupid with my money. So I have decided to try the cash envelope system again. I'll explain what that is if you don't know what it is. I have done this before. I did it a few years ago when my dad was still alive, and it was hugely successful. My savings account was really doing good. I had all of my bills in order. Like, I was doing fabulous, right? And then I just got out of the habit of doing it. And so I haven't done it in probably like 4 or 5 years. And I regret it. Basically, at the end of the year, I had close to $5,000 in my savings account, which for me was a really good number. So what is the cash envelope system? Well, if you are familiar with Dave Ramsey, you'll know what this is. I don't love Dave Ramsey, but I do like his cash envelope system. The whole idea of a cash envelope system is basically the idea that if there's a category, well, he does all categories, but for me, I approach it like, if there's a category that I know I struggle staying in my budget amount for, like for me, it would be eating out, okay? I'm going to put that money in a cash envelope. And what that means is, instead of it being on my bank card and I can swipe to my heart's content, right? Instead, I take that money out in cash. So if I have $50 for eating out for that paycheck, then the $50 comes out in cash and goes into an envelope. And the whole idea is that once that $50 is spent, you're done. You're done. You can't put any more money towards whatever that category is. So Black Friday sales, I ended up catching a cash envelope binder on sale, and I bought it. It was on sale for $6.99. Thank you, Black Friday. So I ended up, making noise. I ended up buying this. Can you tell I like purple? In case you guys could figure out, I love lilac. Favorite color in the whole world. And this, again, $6.99. I'm thinking it's like maybe 14 or 15. If you guys really want it, I can put a link below. I do not have affiliate links, but this one is really, actually really like this one. So I'm happy to link it if anybody wants to buy one and be cash enveloping it with me. Also, keep in mind that I would not put this in my purse and carry it around all day. Why would I? Because I live in the United States. And more specifically, I live near Chicago. And if you're running around with $500-600 worth of cash in your purse, someone is going to rob you and take all your stuff. So I highly recommend you don't roll around with the whole freaking binder in your purse unless you want someone to rob your butt. Maybe not where you live, but where I live, please don't, because you will hate your life. However, these envelopes are removable. So if I'm going out to eat, I will take the envelope in which I am using. Anyway, and then of course, I have my regular savings account through the bank, which I'll be putting money towards. But essentially, this is just a way for me to get control of my spending, because I need to figure out how to do that. But I thought I would show this to you guys because I thought this was really cute, and it's, you know, it was like less than $10, so why not? And then the second thing I'm doing to prepare for 2025, and this one is writing related, is that I am starting to look at planning my book release schedule. I did a TikTok about it because I wanted to hear what other people do, and I'm thinking about just going old school and just getting like a literal calendar. Like an actual calendar. But I need to sit down and figure out what I want to release as far as books goes next year. Obviously, the first one being my mother's book I want to rewrite. My goal for that one is to get that one out beginning of 25. So like January or February, I'd like to have that book rewritten. If I can use a lot of the previous manuscript, that should be easy to do. It's going to really depend on how much of a rewrite I do, but I don't think that book will be hard to get re-released and out to everyone to read. I don't think many people are going to care about it. It's more of a family book, but it's just a personal priority for me that I want to get my mother's book rewritten and out there. Another one that should be very, very easy for me to do is that the next 2 books in my Main Street Heart series is complete. The second one's completely done. The third one just needs to be edited. So those are easy releases. I just released the first book in that series on the 26th of November. So it'd be very, very simple to get 1, if not 2 of the Main Street Heart books out Q1. They're like 10 to 15,000 word stories. They're super short reads, and it would be easy for me to do. So getting those out in Q1, or getting at least one of those out in Q1, seems feasible to me. As far as Q2 goes, I would like to get the second book in my Mafia series out, because the first one came out in like August, right? August, September, late summer. And I need to get the second book in the trilogy out, because otherwise, one of the things I've noticed about like series is that, or trilogies, something like whatever you want to call them, is that if you don't get the second book out soon, people kind of forget about it and don't care. So and honestly, I don't have that many readers of the series anyway, but I just want to go ahead and get the second book out. So really, it's figuring out where I want to place things. I know that I would like to get my vampire novel out next year. The Main Street Heart series should be easy. I think I'm trying to figure out where to put book 3 in the Mafia series. Should I put book 3 in Q4? Should I put book 3 in Q1 of 26? I don't actually know. Honestly, I just need to kind of sit down and take a realistic viewpoint of like, what do I want to get out next year and how do I want to spread it out? My immediate thought in my head is 1 book per quarter, but I'm also kind of not counting the Main Street Hearts books because they're so short. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like a book. It's a short story. So that's why I'm kind of like, I may make Main Street Hearts Q1. I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I will let you guys know. But I think I'm going to go get me like a cheap dollar store calendar and start figuring out what that looks like for me. I think that to be safe, I'm going to be like 1 book per quarter. Especially, I know that the Mafia book 2 and Nocturne, which is my vampire romance, is going to take me a while to write because those are longer books. The Mafia romance is more novella length still, but the Nocturne book is like an actual full-length novel. So I don't know how long that's going to take to complete and edit, but it's not going to be something I can do in like a month or 2. You know what I mean? It's going to be something that's going to take me a little bit longer to figure out. So I'm trying to figure out how to schedule that. And then I know I had someone ask me a couple of videos ago about my sister and I, because we were supposed to write a book together. We originally had 2 books in the works, and we were going to have one that was supposed to go to a publisher by the end of the year. That did not happen. And so a lot of people have asked me, where are we at with our writing a book together? And honestly, I don't know. My sister and I are on a hiatus right now from the podcast. We're planning to go back after the beginning of the year. And we need to sit down and have a meeting to talk about what we want to do with the podcast and with the books. Because, and I don't think my sister would care if I tell this, but we burnt ourselves out this year. We made a huge mistake with the podcast this year. And that mistake was that we got too big for our britches. We ended up having a really great year. Like when our book came out, we had so much publicity. We had people inviting us to events, and we said yes to everything. We were like, absolutely, we want to go. We can't wait to go, right? We're so excited to go. And we booked ourselves like every weekend in the fall. The amount of money that we put out on traveling and vendor fees and materials that we did not get back because we just didn't sell enough books was mind-boggling. When I tell you that we're probably out a few $1,000s and we did not come close to making that back, it was very discouraging. And we actually, towards the middle of season 5, were kind of like, we should just quit. We should just throw in the towel, because we were so frustrated and discouraged with everything. And then we ended up ending the season on a high note. We ended up doing the Crawfordsville event, which was absolutely wonderful. And we ended up being like, no, we just need to go back to basics. So I know one of the goals we have for season 6, which starts after the beginning of the year, is that we need to go back to basics, right? Focus on just having really good, high quality episodes and putting out social media posts and interacting with fans. We don't need to go to every event under the sun. If we pick 1 or 2 really good, high quality events, that's really all we need, and focus on just having a good podcast. And so I don't think we're going to do very many events next year. I know we want to do Crawfordsville again because Crawfordsville was so much fun, and we love the people who organized the event. We had so much fun with meeting fans there, but I don't think we're going to do like a 5 million September and October events because we wore ourselves out. And then we also found ourselves in a situation where we had a hard time finishing the season because usually we work, right? We usually write our podcast episodes on the weekend, but then we were traveling every weekend. So then we were like up to 1, 2 o'clock in the morning trying to squeeze out an episode really quickly because we didn't want to let the fans down. It just ended up being a bit of a mess. So, we kind of just put everything on pause. And we're like, everything is stopped. And let's not even talk about the podcast. Let's not think about the podcast. Let's fully hiatus it until after the beginning of the year. And then we're going to get together and have a meeting to determine what we want next year to look like and whether or not we want to take on doing the books or what we want to do. So I would like to write another book with our publisher. I actually, you don't get paid a lot royalty wise because it's a small publishing house, but I really enjoyed having the book in a store and like the opportunity to work with professionals in the industry was really cool. I would love to do another book with our Arcadia, aka the History Press. And then I know the second one we wanted to do was just self-published. So, but I think we just need a break. We need a break. we had a little bit of a crazy 24, and I think we need to just like get our heads wrapped around all that was 2024 and then figure out what 25 looks like. So again, I am kind of loosely figuring out what my writing schedule looks like for next year, but I don't think the last half of the year will really be finalized until I sit down and speak to my sister, because I would really like to write the books with her that we have planned. It's just figuring out the timing of it. So we shall see. All right, that is how I am wrapping up 24 and 25. Like I said, I will probably do a writing vlog to go through the whole process of rewriting Mom's book with you guys. But how are you guys wrapping up the year? What are you doing to prepare for next year? What are your big goals that you're working toward? And I would love to hear about it. Let me know about it in the comments below, or if you did a video, link me your video so that I can check it out. And if you liked my video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, like, whatever, all the things. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next one.